Today on Simply Happy Conversations, I'm talking with Donna from the Lifestyle Managers. She offers lifestyle management, professional organising and home relocation, and she's based in the Macedon Ranges and does travel to all the surrounds as well. Welcome, Donna.
Thanks, Narelle. Happy to be here.
Oh, it's so glad to have you and to chat about professional organising and lifestyle management as well. So maybe start and tell us a bit about things that you like to do when you're not working.
Oh, when I'm not working.
Which is hard when you're managing your own business, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, when I'm not working and picking up after the kids, I really love to get massages. That's like my one treat for myself. I like the hour where somebody else is taking care of me. So that's my little treat.
And is there a particular style of massage?
Ooh, it depends on what I've been doing for the week. If I've been
Yeah.
doing a lot of decluttering work or home relocations, I need a bit of remedial. But I do like the relaxation probably the most because it just allows me that time to switch off.
Yeah, because it is a very involved job, isn't it?
It is,
And
definitely.
like we just discussed before we came on, all the things that come up as well. It's not just about sorting a cutlery drawer or a pantry, is it?
No, it's not.
So then talk about and tell us how you started and when you started the Lifestyle Managers. Like what got you into this area?
Yeah, so I began the business in 2012, December of 2012, and that year I'd been working for a major sporting organisation in a management role. And I had also at the same time been acting up into other management roles. So 3 management roles. It was the middle of financial year. One of my roles was remuneration and payroll manager. So that was quite hectic at end of financial year with the other 2 roles in there as well. And then I was also about five or 6 months pregnant. So I didn't have time for morning sickness, and I ended up coming home at the end of the nights and having night sickness, and I would just collapse on the couch, and I just kept saying every night, I need another me. I need another me. And there's got to be people out there that need another them. And so I started to think about it a little bit more and do a little bit of research and found a group of concierges, they were called at the time. And yeah, just started to plan out what my business could look like. I've only just rebranded to the Lifestyle Managers last year. But when I first started, yeah, I was on maternity leave, got a few clients, and I went back to work full time and saw clients on weekends, and I took annual leave to see them, and then just built the business from there, gradually dropping back days, and yeah.
And so how many staff members do you have now? What's your team look like?
Yeah, we've got 7 casuals on board. We've got one on maternity leave at the moment as well. And between the jobs that they have elsewhere, yeah, it collectively makes about 1.5 full-timers.
Yeah. Nice. So tell us then, what is the difference between lifestyle management and professional organizing for everyone else out there? I get what it is because we do it, but I don't actually advertise it. But it's funny how it just comes up, and I really enjoy it because I'm an organized person. But yeah, tell us about the difference between those.
Yeah, so with professional organizing, as you know, it's entering the home and working and coaching the client to deal with the things that they have in their home, to make it a more efficient space, a space that works for them and their family, and to just help them organize their life and systemize their life in a way that will work for them moving forward. With lifestyle management and personal concierge type work, it's more taking care of whatever is on their to-do list that they don't have time to do or don't want to make time to do or can't physically do for themselves. So it could be, I need to move house, but I don't have time to organise to have my walls painted, and I need to have this pipe fixed, and I need to pack, and I need to find a removalist, and I need to move to the new place and unpack. So it's organising all of those elements. Or it could be personal shopping for somebody, doing their Christmas shopping or getting their groceries for the week and unpacking and doing some light housekeeping for them to set them up for the day. We do a lot of personal admin for people, and just essentially run their life for them in the background so that they can spend their time doing what they'd like to do.
So it's life admin is all that part of it. And do you find that you have businesses as well as individuals?
We have in the past had
Yeah.
businesses, so we've done quite a bit of record management for businesses, so archiving and things like that. Pre-electronic days, showing my age here. Yeah, so record keeping, archiving, data entry, business admin, receipt management for tax time, and then I myself, not my team, but I'm also a BAS agent, so I'm a bookkeeper too, so I can do some BAS support and bookkeeping for clients too.
And so which out of that do you like the most yourself?
Oh, with the lifestyle management?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I have a favorite. I love all of it. It just feels like a project or a puzzle for me. And then at the end of the day, I've solved it, and it's just a great feeling. I do like unpacking and setting up the
Yeah.
home for somebody, because it just feels like such a big relief for them to walk in and it's all done.
Mm.
But yeah, I think for me
Is it the
it's hard to,
variety?
it's a variety. Yeah.
Yes.
Anything that I've done that just, you can tell that the person is just so grateful for it at the end of the session.
Yeah.
That's just my favorite. Doesn't matter what it is.
Do you find that it comes in waves, that you'll end up being like all pantries for a couple of weeks, and then next minute you move into garages and you're doing garages? Do you find
Yeah.
that comes to you in waves? Or like the other week, it was felt like it was Christmas decor. Everyone's house I went to, they were like, and before you go, for the last half an hour, can we sort out my Christmas decoration? Sure.
Yeah. Oh no, it doesn't come to me
No.
in waves. I think I'm just so used to whatever the work is fluctuating and not knowing what it is. And I think for me, I get the thrill of oh, what is it today and how am I going to solve it?
Yeah, I do. I love that too.
Yeah, yeah.
And so why do you think, so you would see this in the clients that you work with, because you work with a variety of clients, but why do you think people hold on to things that they're not even using anymore? Like it's just there in the back of that cupboard, because you'd see that every day, wouldn't you?
Yes, yeah. And it's you would see this as well. There's so many different
Mm.
reasons for holding on to something. And sometimes it's just a simple fact that they have the space for it and they don't want to deal with whatever it is. But when you come down to letting go of that item, there's a number of different reasons. There's, an emotional attachment to it. Somebody important to them gave them the item and they just can't bear to pass it on yet. Yeah, or they paid a lot of money for it and they don't want to just let it go.
That's a
So
big one,
many
isn't
different,
it?
so many,
Yeah.
it is a big one, so many different reasons. And I think part of our role is to actually build that relationship with the person and get down to what are the underlying issues behind holding on to something, and coaching them through their feelings and a different approach to their thoughts around that particular item.
Yeah, isn't it? And the environment, I find, is also playing a really big part in lots of
Yeah.
people's decisions. Like even
Yes.
yesterday, it was around the box. I was like, we can put the box in the recycle. Oh, but maybe I could use it someday. I'm like, yeah, you could, but it's using up, prime real estate in your home. That box, it's not paying rent to you just to sit
Definitely.
in the
Definitely.
corner for the
Yeah.
one day you might need it.
Yes. But and then and the same train of thought, I have clients who are unable to leave their home.
Yeah.
And for them, holding on to something like that is important because they can't get out and access something that they might need like that. And so
Yes.
then it becomes a conversation of, okay, well, how many of those do you think that you need to hold on to on the off chance that you'll need one in the future?
Yeah, that is a good point too. Yeah, when there's people who can't leave their home.
Yeah,
Definitely,
so
I
so
find
many
that.
different
Yeah.
circumstances.
And it's getting to the bottom of what is the reason, isn't it? Rather than just jumping in and, making judgment of it. It's like, oh, we've got to find out why. Why are they holding on to this, or why have they
Yeah.
got that here? Because some things are just amazing. I don't know. Have you got any stories that come to mind of things that people have held on to, and you just, once they start sharing the story, you're like, Oh, wow. That's an amazing, yeah, amazing story that linked to something.
I've had a couple, I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I can see their train of thought and I can
Yeah.
understand it. So I've had a couple who have held on to the boxes of whatever it is that they've bought, and they keep the boxes for the warranty period.
Yeah.
And so then if something goes wrong with whatever they've bought, they have the original packaging. It's easier for them to send it back. So then the conversation becomes, okay, so the warranty period's expired. Can we let that box go now? So
Yes, yes, I do find that too. That but these days, I think most places will just take it without the box as well. They
yes,
just, but then if you're sending it, it is a lot easier to put it back in the box
yeah,
and send
yeah.
it back.
But
Yes, I do.
I love listening to the reasons behind
Yeah,
why
yeah, yeah,
people are holding on
exactly.
to things. And I hold on to some of my things as well.
Yeah,
I try and keep it quite small, but but
yes,
there's still
no.
things that I have reasons behind why I'm holding on to it.
And so, what's your one thing that you hold on to in your house that maybe other people would be like, why? Just get rid of it.
Yeah. So I was for a period of time holding on to all of my birthday cards
Oh,
ever
yeah.
since I was born until now. And it was getting, I'm old. It was getting quite it was getting quite a big stack. So I went through and I decided to just keep ones from my grandparents and my mum and dad. So the stack became much smaller, but it was still just an important thing for me. Like even just the memory of opening the card and seeing the handwriting of a
Mm,
grandparent,
yeah.
it's a nice feeling. And yeah, that
Oh,
for me is just one little thing that I keep.
yeah. And what about your kids? Do you have their cards, birthday cards?
I do. And I figure later in life I can have a conversation with them around, what do you want to keep from your childhood that's important to you? So I have their things in a box,
Yeah.
and yeah, and I make a little folder for them each school year and keep some of their best artwork and their favorite things that they've done in there. And yeah, I figure when they move out of home, I can give them their box and they can decide what to do with it.
Do you think you'll be attached though? What if they turned around and said, it just goes in the bin?
Oh, that'll be okay. That'll be okay.
Okay.
That'll be fine. That'll be fine. I've got a few that I keep in my
Yes,
section,
okay.
and then yeah, the rest is for them.
Yeah. So that leads beautifully into recycling because I mean, it's like how much stuff can we keep in our house? And it's like, how do we preserve those memories that we want to keep? And then what can we do with the items that we don't want or need anymore, just to make room in our house and make room in our lives? So what are some of the ways of recycling for you? Because it's going to be different, especially where you live, probably
Yeah.
to me. Because do you have a hard rubbish that can come and pick up from your place or some of your
No.
clients' houses? Yeah.
Depending on where the client's based, because we service the Macedon Ranges and surrounds, we can do different shire regions within Melbourne as well. And some
Yeah.
of those offer hard rubbish collection. Where I am in the Macedon Ranges, it doesn't have a hard rubbish collection, but we have got a fantastic recycling system and transfer station here in Woodend, and they take bread tags, bottle caps, fabric, e-waste, light globes, you name it. You can pretty much drop it off there, and if you can't drop it off there, there's so many places that take random things that are going into landfill. And I think it's just about doing some research around those different shops and places that take that.
Yeah, definitely. Like I know Rebel Sport does sneakers
Sneakers, yep.
and they do sports equipment, I think, now as well. I saw in
I
at the
think so,
front.
yes.
Yeah.
And things like old toys can be dropped to Big W.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And local libraries sometimes collect different things like bread tags and bottle caps and mobile phones and things. Glasses,
Oh, yes. Specsavers does that.
Specsavers.
Yes.
Yeah, even medicine blister packs.
Yep.
If you've got a Bloom's chemist or some of the chemist warehouses accept them as well. So yeah, it's really just being mindful of what you're putting in the hard rubbish bin and
Mm.
just having a think about, is there a different way that I can dispose of this that's more environmentally conscious? Or is there a way that I can reuse this in another way that it wasn't intended for?
Yeah, definitely. The Facebook Marketplace is the
Oh
plan.
yeah.
So like one of my things is not to sell people's items for them. I'm happy to
Yes.
show you how to take the photos, how to upload it and do that, but I don't want to take it. But then I'll get items like last week. So I got 3 DVD, Blu-ray, and 2 Blu-ray players, perfect condition. Even
Mm-hmm.
still in the box, he had saved the box, but he was like, I don't
Yeah.
need them. And I was like, I don't really want to drop them off at e-waste. So I put them on Facebook Marketplace. But the other week I put a 3 meter ladder and I got over 65 for free and I got over 65. So this time I was like, right, I'm going to do the donation of whatever it is, but I'm putting a minimum of $5 so that people come and actually get it. And I don't
Yes.
get 65 messages for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it did cut it down to maybe 5 messages, but it's
Yeah.
amazing how many people will take some of those free items, even things that are broken in e-waste. Some of it, there's people looking for parts. If I'm doing a
Yeah.
garage and I'm
Yep.
there, I'll take photos and just upload them and like, it's here if you want it, come and grab it. And it's
Yeah,
amazing how many
definitely.
people want old technology.
Yes, absolutely. And marketplace on Facebook is a great way of getting rid of that, getting rid of things to somebody that may be looking for it. We've got a great Facebook group out here in the Ranges called Macedon Mums Free to a Good Home.
I get, yeah.
And it's such a great idea. And I would recommend other areas start up something like this if it isn't there. But I'm regularly posting things on here from decluttering jobs because the op shops are overwhelmed.
Yes, yes. And they don't always
Particularly,
take technology. Do they take
no,
like lights and things? Some of the Geelong ones will when they don't have too much other stuff and they'll test and tag, but not all of them. At the moment, they're not. So it's
no.
like,
Well,
where do I put it? It's still working. So that's why I'll use Facebook Marketplace. And there's a
yeah.
couple of free groups.
I think it's very rare to find an op shop that will accept electronic items that haven't been tested and tagged. Um, so yeah, different avenues for moving those things along is always a good option. But particularly in the lead up, I was listening to one of your other podcasts, um, particularly in the lead up to Christmas when everybody's doing a big purge and they're dropping to the op shops. December and January, the op shops are really overwhelmed.
Mm.
And so having a different avenue like marketplace to move things along is just fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Like what I even had, like someone had taps, like the tap
Yep.
handles. They'd use the tap part, but they didn't want the handles anymore. And they're
Mm-hmm.
brand new.
Yeah.
And I put them on, and this lady, she was just so grateful when she came
Yeah.
to pick them up. I was like, what? I'm just glad that someone else can use them because they were just going to go in the bin. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad. But actually, that leads me on. I actually just started reopen my own Facebook group just so that I can do that too. Because I don't know if you find this, some of my clients won't use Facebook Marketplace because they don't like people coming to their house. So it was like,
Correct.
how can I create a safe place for them to share with other people that I know or know of? So yeah, so I reopened that to help move some things from other people's. And I always find they'll have a craft project and they haven't quite finished it. So
Yes.
they're like, I'm not into cross stitch anymore, but there might be someone else. They're still holding on to it. Maybe there's someone else who'd like it. So that's another
Yeah.
thing I'm hoping that's going to come out of the group, that people can share unfinished projects. They've moved on from that and they can find someone else who can use it.
Yeah. It's so funny. I've had friends say to me, how much stuff do you have at your house? You're always posting. And I'm like, it's not
It's
mine.
not mine.
It's not mine.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. I've always got and it's always random things as
Yep.
well.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, what about? And then the apparel, is that how you pronounce it?
Apparel. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you want to talk about or share what you know about it? I saw a little bit about it last night on TV.
Um, I just know that it's an option for fabric recycling. There is a fee associated with it. So I think we were saying before it's around $35 for a
Yeah.
box to send that in. And then you were mentioning about a voucher system that they have as well. So that's definitely a good option if you've got a big bulk of fabric that needs to be sent off.
And especially if it's fabric, that's because they go through it and they'll
Mm,
cut zips and buttons and everything like that. And they
yeah.
actually then put the things that still can be used to an op shop. But we can do
Mm-hmm.
that part. So we could just send to them, like, the old socks that are missing their pair. There's actually a list on there, which I'll share
Yeah.
their website, but there was actually a list on there of items that it was like, oh, that's a good idea. Oh yeah, I hadn't really thought of those things. It was like sewing scraps, hats, your bras, as long as you've taken the wires out of it,
Yeah.
socks. They take shoes, linen, fabric mattress protectors, fabric couch covers, and
Yeah.
your curtains, bathers, swimwear, and wetsuits as well. I
Yeah,
was like,
right. And
that's,
tote
yeah.
bags. You know, the tote bags,
Oh,
the fabric
yes,
ones
yeah.
that, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that's a good one too. Yeah, because some
yeah,
health shops
definitely.
won't take them anymore either. So it's just a
Yeah.
great way to gather those things and send it in. So yeah, it's like it depends on so you have to go to the brand of shop that you want your voucher for, and you click on, and then you order the label, and they give you the label, and then you put it on the box. And now you can actually take it. They used to come to your house and pick it up, but you can actually take it to the post office now. So they've joined with Australia Post as well
Oh, amazing.
to make it even easier, which is great.
Yeah, yeah. And I was saying to you before, before Macedon Ranges opened up their fabric recycling at our transfer station, I usually drop to H&M and
Oh, yeah.
they give a voucher at the time. I think it's 5% off or something in their store. And I usually just hand it to somebody that's waiting in line to buy something. But it's a great way as well. You just walk in with your bags and you take it straight into their little area and yeah, they
Yeah,
send it
yeah.
off. So that's great.
Schools are great, and kinders as well. So I've taken lots
Mm,
of things to them in our local area.
same.
Even my kids' high school there, but it's quite a new school. And I was decluttering a shed, and they put something up there that they needed stuff for the drama. So I took all these photos and sent it to her. There was like an old phone, and there was like a hat stand and things like that. And she was like, "Oh, I'll take it all, like whatever you can bring,
Yeah.
a teapot, like things that they could use in their drama class." So
Yeah,
I dropped
definitely.
all of that off to them. So that was great. I don't know. There's
Definitely. Pens that,
local, sorry, your local like pet, I don't know if you guys have one. You'd probably have something like wildlife care for animals out near
yes.
you.
Yeah.
And they take, or lost dog shelter near us that
Mm-hmm.
takes all the linen and bedding stuff.
Yeah. So they typically don't take anything with like a stuffing inside
Yes,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But
Imagine.
but yeah, but towels and doona covers and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can usually drop some to them and same with the childcare centres, crayons and pencils and you would have this as well. Some clients who keep workbooks or exercise books
Mm,
from the kids that have got blank pages in them, but you've got to stack this big.
yes.
Um, so things like that, you can usually check whether the local kinder or daycare wants something like that, or you can find somebody locally that actually takes them overseas
Yeah,
to
yeah.
disadvantaged communities and sends them to the schools over there, which is fantastic as well. So
Yeah, that's really great. And yeah, sorry,
yeah.
I cut you off. You were going to say something else, but Office Works.
I think I
Oh,
was just going to say about the pencils.
pencils. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, which is
But
great. They
but
do
definitely
lots.
Officeworks as well. That's a good point. They have quite a lot of things there that you can recycle with. Usually within the entryway, they've got a big recycling bay there with
Yeah, yeah.
several different
Yeah,
things.
like they do all the ink cartridges as well.
Yep.
And yeah,
Yeah.
your pens
Mobile
and
phones
pencils.
and
Oh, yeah,
yep,
that's right. Mobile
definitely.
phones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And batteries, like you can see that everywhere now, which is great.
Yeah. Batteries at Aldi or at Bunnings. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's great to see all these businesses getting behind our recycling, the recycling programs. And I don't know,
Definitely.
I think it's Victoria wide, the new like the bottles and your
Container
cans as
deposit
well.
scheme.
Yeah, yeah, which is
Yeah.
a fantastic initiative. I don't know about you, but that's one thing that's created a bit more work, that it's like families need now storage solutions to be able to manage it within
Yes,
their
definitely,
homes. Yeah,
definitely. Because it's such a great, it's the container deposit scheme in
yeah.
Victoria. That's the official name for it for anyone listening. And it's such a fantastic way for children to learn about recycling. And yeah, we've had to set up different container systems in garages for people. Out in Dad's shed is a good one
Yeah.
for collection of cans and bottles. Yeah, and I love it. I think it's fantastic.
And I don't know if you're as old as me, but that was something we did when we were
Yes.
kids. We had to
Yeah.
collect the cans and collect the bottles, and you would
Definitely.
get, I think it was a similar price, like 10 cents,
I think so. The only
can of,
difference was when I was young, sorry, was that we were allowed to crush them.
oh yes. So you're not
We
allowed to crush them, are you?
No, not allowed to crush them. And I grew up on a farm, so we used to have
Oh,
wheat
yeah,
bags, wheat bags full of crushed cans. And it was so exciting taking them in because in my day, In my day, $2 was a lot of money. We could get a big
Yes.
bag of lollies for $2. So that was
Yeah.
amazing. So I
Yeah.
love seeing it. It's like the old is becoming new again. It's
It
great.
is. That's what I feel like. I was like, oh, this reminds me of childhood,
Yeah,
collecting bottles
definitely.
and cans and seeing kids. I've seen kids picking them up when I've been out and about with their parents, and then I was like, "What are you doing?" And she's, "I'm just going to grab those cans that are over there so we can take them home with us." So I've
Yeah.
seen that everywhere around our area near the beaches. That's where I see kids grabbing
Yes.
the things, almost
Yeah.
like running to grab it. Like that's valuable. That's money.
Yeah, but it's such a good discussion as well because the people are stopping and spending the time to pick up the cans and the bottles. So then it's also around educating them. Well, while you're there, why
Yeah.
don't you pick up that wrapper and things
Yes.
like that as well? So yeah,
Definitely,
that's a
definitely.
whole nother topic.
Thank you so much for your time, Donna, and all your tips. Where can people, or how can people connect with you?
Yeah, so if you would love to have a chat, you can reach out to me via our website. So that's www.thelifestylemanagers.com.au. I do have a Facebook page. The handle's The Lifestyle Managers AU, and we have Instagram as well.
Beautiful. And I will share all those in the show notes as well. So thank you so much. And all the other things that we've chatted about as well. Now I'll have to go back and listen and write them all down, all the
Yeah,
different recycling options. But thank
definitely.
you so much again, Donna.
That's okay. Thank you.